Hey, this is Judd, and you are watching Apocalypse World Burned Over, Low Earth Orbit. We are here despite it being December 23rd, and everyone, I think you might know, you might not know how holidays wreak havoc with gaming schedules. And then on top of that, we've got a Siberian blast coming through our part of the continent, our whole continent. And so there is literally an ice storm uh, hitting North America, and it is quite a thing. So if you're on the Great Turtle with us, and I hope you're staying warm and your stuff is inside and not getting covered in ice, and you're staying safe. Uh, the actual play channel, all subscriptions, subscription money, and stuff earned goes to Black Lives Matter and the Trans Legal Defense Fund. So if you want to drop a subscription on us, we would love that. You get a free subscription with your Amazon Prime account. So that's a good that's a good use if that's a thing. We don't have any special wingdings or anything to do with subscriptions. It's just the good feeling of supporting games you like, that warm feeling inside. I'm going to start off with, wait a minute. No, don't click that button. Click that one. I'm going to start off with Jay. Boop. And I will put Jay's Patreon in the chat. If I can click on it, which mouse should I use? It's a mystery. There we go. We have learned how to not cover Aaron's face with our links, which is good. We're getting better. A little bit better every day. 1%. 1% better.
1%.
Jay, this is folks' Patreon. Do you want to talk about a little bit about what's coming with the Patreon, or what kind of, what are you doing with it?
Sure. I think I bill it out as me providing tabletop role-playing game accoutrements.
Yeah.
Mostly podcast. The Diceology podcast show is broadcasted from there and supported from that Patreon.
Nice.
In 2023, I'll continue to do interviews with game designers, game content creators, folks that just play games, facilitate games. But I'm also starting a new series on superhero games. We will play maybe a game a month, running through my list of superhero games that I want to get to the table. And that'll be a separate podcast and on the Diceology show. Again, sponsored through my Patreon. So come check me out.
Cool. Awesome. It's good stuff. You should check them out. Diceology is a really fun podcast. You should check that out. And yeah, definitely. Cool. Thanks, Jay. Let's get to Aaron, and then let's get to Gaiman. Aaron, you just sent a thing out where you're doing some board gaming lately. I know you and Dr. Nikki are big board game fans. What are you playing lately?
I mean, board gaming is pretty much, if we are not working, we are doing that. So as ever, Spirit Island is pretty much always on the table. We have everything that's published for that so far, and there's more that we've backed that's coming out, I think, sometime next year. The latest thing to hit our table was Everdell, which we started calling Megadell, because we have all the expansions for that also, and it takes over our entire table now, in a good way. Those are probably our two favorite games of all time altogether.
Yeah.
It's nice having the co-op, and then it's nice having competitive to mix it in. But
it does both.
So Spirit Island is co-op.
Got it. Two different games. Got it.
Entirely. Yep. Everdell is really, it's competitive. There's a kind of co-op mode, but even that, it still is like competitive with who's best. But it's really best to play it competitively. But it is adorable and it's fun, even if you lose, because there's cute little creatures that you're building your town with.
Nice.
And yeah, those are the two. We've got another one that Nikki is working on the rule book for, reading, that is, not writing. called On Mars that's supposed to be a crunchier version of Terraforming Mars.
Okay.
You played Terraforming Mars with us one time.
Yeah, that was
we
fun.
liked that one a lot. The bill for On Mars was that plus a little more crunch, which does not scare us off. So we're eager to try that one.
Nice. That's awesome. I did play Terraforming Mars with Aaron and Nikki, and half joked that if they had a YouTube channel where they taught board games, I would subscribe in like a hot second. They are very good. Nikki in particular, I think, is very, very, very good at teaching board games. I was just like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah, let's do it.
Sure.
And that's not easy. It's not a. I feel like, it's funny. I think we lost track of which of our friends were good at that kind of stuff when we stopped having to ask our friends for directions because of having computers in our pockets. I remember back in the day when it was like, hey, I need to get directions. No, put your wife on, dude. Your directions are nonsense. Like I cannot get directions from you. They don't make sense. But like board game teaching, there's like a similar vibe there. So anyway, it reminds me of ye olden days.
She's awesome and does a very good job with taking a holistic approach to all of it. I tend to zero in on the mechanics that I really dig or have a problem with. And so I like laser focus, and sometimes I tunnel vision, and it's not a great way to help someone learn a game.
Right. That said, Aaron and Jim are the reasons why I gained any proficiency with Burning Wheel. They were in one of my first Burning Wheel games. And,
nice.
And we all learned that game together. And so that crunch was something we learned. I learned because I think Aaron and Jim were so well system-minded. So cool. Let's get to the game. I'm going to put a link that I don't want Aaron and Jay to click on, where I have all my threats. So this is basically my prep. So if you want to follow along at home and just like see what is he doing, where's he going with this, this is the prep that the game prompts me to do. And I wrote it down on a blog post, and you can follow along. So if you want to, there it is. You can go to Get Kinky Diaspora and put Apocalypse in the description, or Orbit, or Threats, and you'll probably get there eventually. And another cool thing that I really liked that Aaron did that I'm going to share is we have a boom. Is it going to be there? Yes. When asked to describe his character, Aaron said, my character is somewhere in between the triangle of Mega Man, Ares from John Wick Chapter 2, and Titus Pulo from Rome. And I think that's a really, one way to get a character is like, hey, who would play them in the movie? But having a triangle is super fun, and it allows for, I don't know, I got the character right away when he said that. So, and we will be using that screen to just go through moves. So if we have a move, hopefully it will be up on the screen, and you can follow along a little bit system-wise. So that is fun.
Is that on the Jamboard?
What's that? Yeah, it's a Jamboard. Yep. I can share that on the private chat if you would like. Sure. I forgot to do that. Anyone on the internet with a link can view. And thank you, Cliff. I'll put it in the private chat for now. And if folks really want to see our Jamboard, I can share that too. Cool. So we left in dramatic fashion last week, but I think it was so dramatic that we didn't do the end of the session move. So at the end of every session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. Tell that player to add +1 to their HX with you on their sheet. If more than one character knows you better, choose at most 2. If no one knows you better, choose a character who doesn't know you as well as they thought, or choose any character you want. Tell that player to take -1 HX with you on the sheet. And if you roll over, you get an XP point. It's a little weird with 2 characters, but we can do it. Aaron, do you think Bastet learned a little more about loop last session?
I do. I think especially, broadly, there was some interesting stuff with how we both interacted, or how we each interacted with Zephyr.
Yeah.
Rip. And I also, with the fallout of landing on Earth again and coming to grips with that, Bastet definitely came to her senses a little bit more smoothly and kind of rescued Loop in that sense. So I would say so.
Cool. Awesome. Jake, give Bastet +1. And then
Done deal.
Jake, do you think Loop learned a little more about Bastet or no? That's fine.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think more. Yeah. So I think for sure, if there was ever any doubt, because I've got this reputation,
Right.
That barter cash is more important than my rep, and I'm willing to let my rep take a hit.
Yeah.
I didn't leave him, right? I went and
Yeah.
got him out of the crash. I didn't leave him in a bad spot. So if nothing else, Loop knows that I'm solid. Bastet's solid. That
Nice.
she's not going to leave him in the lurch out there.
Good. Awesome. Love it. Take +1. Has anybody got an improvement that they want to spend, or like, do we want to talk about that? Do you want to just take it? I've seen it go both ways. An interesting thing about like first edition Apocalypse World is I was playing it with a group of people who were not system minded at all. They were just like, I don't want to think about it. Let's just play. I'll roll the dice when you tell me to. And then the first person got their improvement and took a cool move, and they were like, how did you get that? And they were like, oh, I have an improvement. And they were like, there were improvements? And they're like, yeah, you're not marking your XP. And they were like, what? And so like that is how everyone got system minded. And I was like, I'm not holding your hand. Either like mark the XP or don't. But like
Right.
I'm not gonna baby you. And that is what got everybody to start taking improvements. Is everyone was like,
Nice.
oh, there's more to this. Wait. So it was cool. Jay, I think Bastet was ready to get an improvement. Yes.
Not yet. I'm two marks away.
Okay.
I need two more. I need two more XP.
Well, so we also
I'm
there's
there.
one other part of the
Yeah.
the scavenge XP.
Yep.
So I will I should get an advance with that because I think that the scavenge choice will still hold true. But I probably will take a move from an unused playbook to scratch my multi-class itch, and I'll do that between sessions. I wasn't sure how we ended last session, if we were going to sort of keep it live as far as the session. So I didn't really think too much about it beforehand, but
yeah, cool.
You're right. I will get an improvement. I forgot about these next two. So
yeah, we could also do it like, feel free to like look at things during the break. Take that whenever you want. If there's like, hey, I think I have there's an advance I think I can take from another playbook that I think might help here, we can stop. It can be as in-game or out of game as we want it to be.
Okay.
But yeah,
nice.
At the end of every session, ask judge for yourself. Are you satisfied with your place in the world? If not, get 1 XP. So, are you happy with your place in the world, stranded on a toon planet that birthed that we think birthed the human race, in a busted low Earth orbit jet, one of you in a psychic maelstrom induced coma, and the other one not. If you're happy with that place in the world, then great. If not, you can take 1 XP, which is great. Aaron, is Loop happy with their place in the world?
Decidedly not.
Okay. Jay, what about Bastet?
I think so. Yeah, I think she's happy still right now.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Interesting. Yeah, she's unflappable. I love it.
Yeah, so I think this is a setback being on Earth, but the bigger picture was we're going to fix this thing with Dion, right?
Yeah.
We're going to squash some of these old friction points, right?
Yeah.
So this is, I think she sees this as a small, not even a setback, right?
Awesome.
I really
not staying here. So
I love how optimistic she is. Aaron, what were you about to say?
Yeah. So related to that, I don't want to speak for totally understanding Bastet's reaction to the scene, but I love that scene with the two of you. It's Bastet's side of things with her father. And that momentum from that, with you saying you're good. Like it just felt like that it meshes very well. I really like it.
Yeah, it's very cool. And the other at the end of every session deal is does your scavenge choice still hold true? If it does, get 1 XP. If it doesn't, you have the option to change it now. Like, did stuff get lost in the crash? Did you lose your fortune? Are you changing your vibe? So, like, if your scavenge choice changes, then get 1 XP, and if not, keep it. Which I like. I think that's really cool. As always, I think this game is what it seems to be telling you to do is seek out change, which is what the MC is going to be pushing, and and try to solve problems in lots of different ways, which I think also the MC is going to be pushing. So yeah, take that XP if you want, and look for an advancement if you got one, and if not, let's go forward. I'd like to I would like to paint the scene a little bit. It's an old technique that I learned from Jason Cordova, where we have landed in what I think Bastet was looking for. Bastet's a very good pilot. She has a move that puts her above other pilots from the operator playbook, and I think what she found to land on was a busted a long flat surface, which was some kind of busted spaceport somewhere on Earth. And Jay, as Bastet was landing and she got her first look at Earth, is there anything that she saw that kind of surprised her after a life in low Earth orbit? Is there anything she saw that was like, oh shit, I didn't know that was going to be here, or that's interesting, or I didn't realize that the sunset was going to be so beautiful, or something, whatever. It could be anything.
Right.
You can
maybe go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say maybe where we're coming down at, there's signs of people, right? That maybe construction of habitats. Right?
Oh, interesting.
Right, and because I think she's heard, right, that there are barbarians and mutants down there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And they'll eat you alive, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing human down there anymore,
right?
And maybe there's something very human about the habitats that she can see. I don't think that it's sprawling. I think they're spread out and they're remote. But there's something very human about how they look, how they appear as you're coming down from orbit.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Cool. You have put people here. I was not going to do that. So good. Love it. Love it. I love it. Cool. Aaron, and I think Loop has had a little bit more time, right? Loop has probably been out of the ship and maybe sought out water. I think we don't have to start the game the minute after the last thing. I think maybe it's 2 weeks that Bastet has been in this coma, and Loop has been kind of hand feeding her and getting her to drink as we try to deal with this coma. So is there anything around that is surprising, I guess, to Loop?
Laughingly, the thing that's surprising to me is that everything that made this place an ideal choice for Bastet to land makes it an awful place for me, with my tactical mind thinking we are in the open. There's flat ground. There is nothing close by that's useful to hide. I can't really move Bastet safely in condition. I think that during the darker hours, I don't know what the state of the sky is. If it's matrixy, we don't see the sun down here. I'm not sure, but during darker hours, I think I would have tried to gather up some debris to make the Anubis look like a piece of the terrain. In blend in basically a little bit more.
Cool. Cool. I imagine that the runway you're on is like so there are runways in the shape, like when you saw it from above, it looked like an asterisk, and then the spaceport itself is in a circle around the asterisk. Maybe there are a couple of them, so they're like interlocking rings.
Cool.
And then in the middle of the asterisk, I think there is 50 years later, there is a tree growing. That has grown here over the past 50 years. I think it's busted up through the runway material.
Love it.
And yeah, I think it's just this big, beautiful tree that a thing that neither of you have seen, but you can kind of see it in the distance. Is it's a mile or so of flat runway down there a bit. I love the idea that when we come back, the Anubis is kind of covered in like dirt and debris and plane parts to kind of cover it from the air and to stop people from being able to see it. Bastet, as you are in this coma-like state, from the psychic maelstrom, what is keeping you holding on? Like, what is keeping Bastet holding on and not just fading away? And by fading away, I mean like her consciousness.
Man, so what's the state of was it Zephyr, our passenger?
Yeah.
What's
I don't think
I know what my
he made
dad
it.
said, but I don't think he made it.
I think it's like you open up that, because we had him in like a raw cargo container that was attached to the Anubis.
Yeah.
I think like, if Loop opens that, a boot and some slush comes out and goes on the runway.
I like how you say if.
Yeah. I just don't think there's much left.
Gotcha. All right.
There was an MC prompt, hold your NPCs in the crosshairs. And I don't think number one, I don't think he made it. Number two, like if one of you had said, hey, we're going to like rig him up some safety gear so that if we do come down hard, but nobody thought you were coming down hard. So not this hard. So yeah, I think unfortunately Zephyr didn't make it.
So I think it's that if I'm just not dying down here. That's kind of shameful. Dishonorable.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. All those things, right? I'm better than that, right? This is not where I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Not that I'm invulnerable or anything, but this is a horrible, horrible place to go, and it's not happening to me here.
Yep. Love it. Yeah, I think you were seeing your dad a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a detail about your dad that came to me that I think he had a tattoo like on like right above his elbow,
right
on his forearm, that was like, it was clearly Mars, right? It's like a red circle and then like a misshapen moon with the orbital pattern around it. And then I just heard a thing today that one of Mars's moons is going to disintegrate like in the next whatever decades or hundreds of years. I think that has happened. And so it's like, it's a red circle with like a black circle and like a little potato like lump for the moon that's around, and then like a little like debris ring for the moon that went around, barely perceptible. Mm-hmm. It's not like a Saturn ring. It's like little debris ring in memory of Deimos or Phobos, whichever one is the one that's going to.
That is fantastic.
But I think like, he has that, and then in the middle is like a in the red circle, is a double helix with some kind of genetic pattern on it that means something to him. But yeah, you've been hallucinating about your dad, or seeing your dad as you are near death, whichever your spirituality dictates. And I think the next thing you see, is Zephyr, and I think he's like sitting on the wing of the Anubis, under the moonlight, and he says, "What do you think, Bastet? You gonna pull through, or you gonna die here? I mean, it's the home world. It's not a bad place to die."
I think she says, she scoffs at him. Maybe it's your home world, right? And maybe
Oh,
you're okay with dying here.
I mean, it is the home world. I don't know if it's my home world.
It's not my home world. I belong out there.
All right. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get to see it. It looks pretty beautiful. Pull it together. I don't know how much longer Loop is going to survive on their own. And I think that prompts a psychic maelstrom roll. I think you're kind of opening your brain. Yep.
So my weird is +0.
Nice.
I leaned into this character pretty hard, so
Yeah.
the best 2 stats are sharp and cool.
Yep.
And those are at +2. My aggro and hard are at -1s. That doesn't mean I won't try, though.
I totally dig that.
All right, here we go. 2d6. First roll. A 2 and a 6. I got a straight 8.
All right. On a 7 to 9, you're kind of along for the ride, but it's not a miss. You're not prepared for the worst. I think you get kind of like a weird psychic maelstrom spirit world view of like what is around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see Loop kind of moving around and giving you water and doing her thing, or doing their thing. And you see the tree kind of off in the distance, and maybe like a small gathering around the tree that is kind of hard to see. What do you want to do to kind of try to like are you like realizing that you're out and you need to regain consciousness? Like how is Bastet rationalizing this? Like what is she feeling?
That's good. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to know. We can go to Loop for a second. We can let you think about it for a bit.
Okay.
Cool. Loop, let's do the beginning of the session move.
Cool.
So roll a 10 plus and ask the MC what's free and what's easy. On the 7 to 9, ask the MC what's easy and what's hard, and on a miss, be prepared for the worst.
Nice.
But I think we're not going to use barter. I think we're going to use sharp, because you're not getting by on your stuff. You're getting by on your ability to like figure out a new environment.
Okay. Cool. 7.
Cool.
Yeah, sharp, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just double checking that I had a 0 and not a minus, but it is.
Yep. So the thing is, I'm supposed to tell you what's easy and what's hard. I think what's easy is you found a tank of clean water nearby, which is just a lucky fucking call. What's hard is that your food just ran out, and y'all are going to need to eat.
Yep. I
think you're like figuring this out as the sun rises, and like there's like the world is getting light again. What is Loop up to at dawn?
What is Basset's status?
In a coma, sometimes mumbling esoteric weird shit to herself. You think she was talking to her dad for a while. Then she seemed to be talking to Zephyr for a bit. She seems to be fighting. Like you can hear her being like, "I'm not dying here." Like she's not giving up, but she looks like shit. It's been like over a week. She's getting hand fed and hand watered. She looks gaunt. I don't think there was much to her to begin with. And she's in a coma, and you're doing the best you can, but it's not great.
Well, I will. I think my instinct would be to go towards that tree.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know how much of a sense, never having set foot on the planet before, I don't know how much of a sense I have for like understanding ecologies or anything like that.
Right.
But at the very least, that is in the middle of the station.
Yeah.
So if I don't find some sort of salvage or scavenge, who knows? It's at least something I've never seen before. So that's where I'm headed.
Yeah. You're moving towards that tree, and you can see that you're like, oh shit, there are people around the tree, and then you realize, oh, those aren't people, those are primates, and there's some kind of like weird gorilla-like creature, and they are gathered around the tree, and I think like as you get within a mile, they as a group kind of move away, and one of them stays behind, and it does a little bit of a dominance display, and then like leaves something for you, like shakes its fist like this, and kind of screams, and then like leaves something, and then walks away over to the tree, and then just kind of hunkers down and watches you. You can see like this is an old one. Like this one has like a bunch of gray on its fur, and maybe has like
Caesar,
a scar. Yeah, and it is left a pile, and then it like walks to the tree and kind of like watches you as you approach. What does Luke do to that?
I will give like this kind of hail, like one arm over my head, and then walk to the pile that was left.
Yeah, it's a bunch of grubs. They are moving and writhing. They are fat, and yeah, it's just like a pile of grubs on a leaf.
I will pick one up and let the old Terminator eye scan thing do its work to break down and whatever else I'll assess what these are.
Yeah. I think I think it has a hard time with it, and then it's like, oh, it's protein, I guess. Like it really can't figure out why it's moving, like, but yeah, it seems to be protein is what you're reading.
I will chomp one.
Yeah, I think like as you
satisfying.
Yeah, as you eat one, and I leave it to you to describe if it's disgusting or not. I think the elder gorilla, makes their way over and grabs one and eats it, kind of staring at you. And I think it's signs. It gives you sign language. Does Luke know ASL at all?
I think the only thing comparable would be like tactical hand signals, but there's probably not a ton of like conversational language inside that.
Right.
I wouldn't. I'll take another one and like as I grab one and like go to eat it, like extend, like pick up a second and like extend it myself, like hold it out towards them.
It takes it from you, and yeah. Why don't you read someone?
Sure. Which stat is that again?
That's also sharp.
Okay.
Boom.
I got a 10.
Attack someone, read someone. You got a 10?
Yep.
Cool. So the questions are up on the screen.
Great.
Which ones would you like to?
Ooh, what do you hope I'll do? I think that's awesome here.
Yeah.
First.
It wants you to share your water source. Like it can't figure out how you're drinking and why you're still alive.
Great. Let me just. And then the other one is. How could I get you to show me your friends?
Yeah. Prove that you're safe and not some kind of weird piece of tech. Yeah. I mean that is its yeah.
Great. What was the scale of the water thing that you said?
I think it was like an old water truck.
So a significant volume.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will mime like a drinking motion.
Yeah.
And like heft up the leaf. And you said I could describe the taste there.
Yeah.
I think that partly because like whatever gets made in space probably doesn't have a whole lot of luxury to it.
Right.
And also just because of like Loop's background, I think that they've been trained to eat things that would make a billy goat puke.
Yeah.
A nod to Rambo there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't think there's any enjoyment there really, apart from the newness, but there's no like upsetness at it or anything.
Cool. Cool.
And so I'll heft up the leaf, and like, it's not warmly, but I suppose friendly gesture, like back in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. I think you show it the water. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the question. Like, do you go show it the water? Do you bring it to Bastet? What do you do?
The water for now.
Okay.
I don't have any reason to think that they're going to be, if they were going to be hostile, they would have.
Yeah.
Right.
But still, I don't know that I necessarily need to bring them to my unconscious friend right away.
Yeah, I think it like goes up to the water and it's like it I think there's like a thing that you have to like jack in to like get past the security, right? And so the elder like goes up to the water and like turns the sprout, like, yeah, I fucking know how this works. But nothing comes out and it bangs on it like son of a bitch. Dang. And like turns the sprout and just like bares its teeth at it.
I will, I guess, be a little playful and like, whatever I do to be able to activate it, I'll like get some on my hand and like splash it at my face and then like do this like, like I'm in a shallow of a pool. And,
Yeah. It like looks shocked and then comes over and like gets some of the water and smells it and then like drinks some of it. And then like I think sniffs your arm where you like connect to the thing. And
I'll like point to him.
Yeah.
And then like if there's a bunch of similar sized things on the ground, whether it's stones or bolts or pieces of something, like I'll point to him and then point to one of those and then like put a bunch more like next to that one and like gesture back towards where the others ran to.
Yeah.
And then like gesture to the water.
Yeah.
And like take a half step back. Like,
yep. I think like it takes a rock and puts it, and like and then like takes one rock and put a big rock and like puts it down, and then takes one rock and puts it next to it, and like looks at the Anubis and Bastet.
Yeah, I'm sure they observed us at some point.
Yeah.
And know that she's there. I will the closest thing to. I'm sure I was wary before, but now like there's like a real assessment going on here as we start to move towards the ship.
Yeah.
And I'll like move the whatever plank door I had put over the broken open part of the ship, and like look to her and then look back.
Yeah. The elder like walks up to her and kind of sniffs her and then sits down and kind of stares at her, and then in Bastet's dream, she's kind of trying to figure out what to do, and like think the elder shows up and says,
in the dream space.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And it says, is your friend a weapon or a person? Because it moves and smells like a weapon.
If it's my friend, it's a person.
That's good.
Who are you? Where's my dad?
I don't know where I don't know where your dad is. I'm called the oldest. I can remember a time before any of this was here. And I think like when she says when she says this, she's clearly talking about like the psychic maelstrom, right?
Oh, gotcha,
says,
gotcha. All right.
You need to get out of here. You're putting a lot of strain on your clan here.
She says, I will. I think I just got to make some tweaks to the Anubis, figure out which way's north and south, and so I can get to the last elevator, and then I'm good once I get there.
Yeah, no, I don't think you understand where you are. You got grabbed by the maelstrom. You're in it, and you haven't been able to figure out your way out. The sun has been up 8 times since you've crashed.
And I think that's kind of jarring, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So how do I get out? What? Yeah. I just assumed I was awake and up, and I mean, I've been interacting with folks.
Yeah. Sometimes the dead or near dead will come here too. You've got to want to wake up. Here. What's that?
I'm not dying here. I'm not dead. I'm not staying here.
Cool. Yeah, I think like when you say that, you wake up, and Loop is sitting there, and the elder is there too, and I think it like grunts, like gives like a grunt of assent, like good noises, like friendly noises, and I think that was basically an NPC helping you with with your open your mind to the maelstrom. And
I'll hold out the leaf of grubs.
Yeah, you hold out the leaf of grubs, and the elder like picks it up and eats it, and then gestures to you.
I think
bring these.
I think Bastet does it out of what is it? Not tradition is a word when
etiquette,
the host does it. Yes, etiquette. Out of etiquette. Yes.
Cool.
More than hunger, right? She probably needs to eat, but yeah. I don't want to offend anybody, so yeah. I think she does it more out of etiquette.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think it's probably weird that it's moving, right? You don't probably get a lot of wildlife. And I think there's like a smell to this primate that is probably something you guys haven't experienced very much. and yeah, it I think as you all like leave the little lean-to that you've made under the wing, the other primates are around, and you can see that like a bunch of them, like there's like 30 of them, and they've kind of circled your ship.
Are they armed or equipped in any way, like wearing anything or have any kind of?
No, I don't think so.
I will go over to the water.
Yeah.
Find some sort of a big bucket or some sort of thing I can put below that so that they're not just scooping from the output.
Yeah, I think there are like a bunch of young ones around the water, like turning the thing, and then like they know there's like a keypad they have to fuck with, and they're kind of like hooting at it, and like one will come and like slap the other one away, and they'll kind of like, and then like scream at it.
Do I need to be like actively jacked in for that keypad to work, or can I show them the code?
I have no fucking idea. Let's try something challenging.
Okay.
Let's teach gorillas how to use a fucking keypad. I love it. No, it's not a physical action. I don't know if this is even a roll. I don't think this is a roll.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
If for some reason the keypad doesn't work without me locked in, or they don't get it, I'm just gonna cut a hole in this thing so that they
got it. Got it. Yeah,
nice.
I think you can like get into the master program and like teach it that 111 like opens it, and so when you do that, they freak out. Yeah. And open it, and then like everybody backs up as it just like comes out, and there's a lot of like high-pitched screaming and in a good way, and hooting, and someone runs under it, and then someone else runs under it, and then I think one of the older primates comes over and turns it off, and lets them know that like, hey, this is not going to be here forever. It's a finite thing, but they're pretty excited. Yeah, Loop, you are awake. You think you just managed to hold this thing together so that the Anubis is salvageable. If you had zigged instead of zagged, this thing would be a wreck, and you and Loop might not be alive. I think I said Loop instead of Bastet.
Yeah, no, I knew you meant me.
Yeah. What's the first thing you're looking at as you look over the Anubis? Like what?
Broadly, can I get it to get me to the last elevator?
Right.
I have I got stuff there. I got safe rooms there.
Nice.
Right. So if I get there, I think we're good.
Yeah. So I think you've got some options, right? Do you want to throw it on the back of a truck, or do you want to like fly it there? Like that, these are your options.
I'm going to fly it there, and I'm going to tell you what my new operator move is.
All right. Here we go.
Eye on the door. Name your escape route and roll plus cool. Now, and if I'm overreaching, you tell me. You're the MC.
No. I love
I'm leaning into being the player. So
yeah. Do it.
So my thought is she's looking it over, right? All I need from it is to get me to the last elevator, which is a hard zone. I have a protocol in.
Yeah.
And there I keep flash rooms, dinner, a soft bed, And then it says treat me like a wheel. I'm not sure I get what that means.
Yeah, I think it means that you're like treated like somebody with skill and value is how I would take it. Yeah.
Gotcha. And my assumption is if it's the last elevator, like a beanstalk,
Yeah.
that means it starts on the planet, right?
Right. It totally does.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah. So I don't have to necessarily get back in space, but I can at least get there and then do a bigger check on the Anubis. Maybe get some repairs there. I don't know. But we'll figure it out when we get there.
Awesome. Yeah.
I think she checks in with Loop, right? Are your new friends, they're gonna be all right? Because I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to get out of here. This planet feels weird.
I agree that it definitely feels weird. I wonder, so correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it's basically been 50 years since there was like something close to functioning Earthside civilization.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't, Aaron doesn't want to be pedantic, but 50-year-old water probably wouldn't be great. So that makes me think that maybe there's something on the truck that's some sort of like scrubber or stirrer or filter system or something like that.
Yeah.
Can I see if that like would accept inputs so that they can keep using this? If there is dirty water somewhere that like
I see. Yeah. And that's not pedantic, man. I think that's what this game's about, right? You saw a thing we didn't see.
I just don't want to be like, well, actually, Judd, 50 years from now.
No, I think it's great. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, especially if you got to make a roll and you blow that roll, and then we're like, well, dude, you brought up the scrubbers, right? This is your thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, this is good. I love it.
No, I love it. I definitely love it. Yeah, I think actually the tinkering. So, Aaron, put a pin in that. I'm going to get back to that. Jay, you had mentioned so you're thinking about like using your find the exit move to like find the way out of here. Is that like the vibe you're going for? Cool. So let's roll that first.
Okay.
And then like see how and let's read the move. How does it work?
Yeah, so it says eye on a door, name your escape route, and roll plus cool. So I'm thinking I just need the Anubis to get me to the beanstalk, to the last elevator. We don't even have to hit orbit, right? Can't get me there.
Yeah.
On a 10 plus, sweet, you're gone. On a 7 to 9, you can go or stay, but if you go, it costs you. Leave something behind or take something with you. The MC will tell you what.
Yeah.
On a miss, you're caught vulnerable, half in and half out.
Awesome. I love it.
That part's not awesome. I don't love that part.
Right.
I have 2 decades of gaming with Judd Spidey sense about what that 7 to 9 is going to be.
Oh shit! I love it.
That's fantastic.
And that's my dad's during game call. I'll call him back every time. And I called him before the game thinking I need to get a hold of him. I'm positive he's calling to tell me like it is coming, the ice is coming down. You need to be aware of this. Love him. Absolutely love him. All right. Let's make that roll, Jay, and see how that goes. And then we're going to look at the other stuff as like a tinkering roll.
Okay.
All right. I got an 8 and a 2.
Nice.
Right? 8 and a 2?
Yeah.
I got 8 plus 2. That's what I'm having trouble reading. Yeah, that's a 10. So I actually rolled a 3 and a 5. Plus the 2 makes it a 10. So there we go.
Yeah, I think I think
my ship.
Yeah, I think the ship is okay. I think a lot of the damage got done to the storage containers. so you can just like take those off and then vertical takeoff. I think I imagine that the ship doesn't need a runway. It can just
Right.
like if the vertical takeoff isn't thing, you can just take right off.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're looking good. There's no reason to leave Loop behind because of weight. You are fine.
I'll be back for you.
Yeah, that totally would have been like Loop of the gorillas, and we would have been like, you'd been back in a year as Loop has like gathered the local gorilla tribes around the tree.
Yeah, I would have taken my advance. Would have been like get a gang and like
Nice, get a gang.
Oh my god. Fuck. Oh my lord, that's the best gang ever. A bunch of ASL fucking gorillas. Holy shit.
Yes.
I'm so sad that's not going to happen now. Can we just do that anyway? It's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I think like you know, days are going by, right? And you guys are like eating grubs and drinking water and teaching the primates how to do their thing. Aaron, Loop, I think you realize that there's like you can absolutely teach them, but I think you're gonna like have to go into the psychic maelstrom to really communicate this thing. And you realize from your days of being around these folks that the tree is some kind of antenna for it.
Oh, neat.
It's like what they use to access what they call the other world. Yeah. So
like going to the tree might facilitate that process. Is that?
Yep. Absolutely. And there's totally a move for this. It's basically what you're doing is an augury.
Oh, okay.
What does that look like? Like, what do you do? How do you?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's tricky, right? Because, like, I don't want to just put my feelings here because I think that seeing this tree is majestic. If I've seen one before, it probably was like a stained glass thing or in some illumination and something in the awful Jesuit combat camp that I was raised in.
Yeah.
And so seeing something like this up close, if I can even process that, the whole of it is a living thing, I think is just pretty wowing, but I don't think I can fully get my head around it. I think whether this is part of the move or not, the way that I was showing them how to use the keypad and how parts of the water truck thing worked, I kind of picture them doing the same thing here. Like maybe the little ones showing me, I don't know if it's a conifer or what, but like showing me bits of the tree or like some of the soil that, from old detritus that has, eutrophied around it. But yeah, I think that what it looks like is me putting my hand on a tree and feeling something the size of a small spaceship be a living thing.
Yeah. Awesome. Roll plus weird.
I think I have a -1. Yeah. 9.
Cool. On any hit, choose one. You reach through the world's psychic maelstrom to something or someone connected to it. You can isolate and protect a person or thing from the world's psychic maelstrom. You can extract and contain a fragment of the world's psychic maelstrom from itself. You can open a window or door into the world's psychic maelstrom.
Is this in what you sent, the burned over thing you sent?
Yeah, I believe it is. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it's in standard moves next to tinkering.
Oh, great. So I'm picking one of those bottom.
Yep.
Okay. Mhm.
And how long it lasts doesn't really matter, because I think
Sure.
you're looking to do something pretty specific. So,
Yep.
uh,
I think the most interesting one to Aaron is that it reaches deep into the world psychic maelstrom.
yep, cool. What does that look like as you touch this tree and delve into this?
I don't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head. There's a Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman movie where I remember there's like a tree and like there's a bunch of light in his face.
Yeah.
Whatever that's what I'm picturing. That
I
like
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Hugh Jackman realizing the world is bigger than him is
Yeah.
the vibe of things right now.
Yeah. So was it you extract and contain a fragment, or you reach through and connect to it?
Oh, I just did the 7 to 9, the choose one. So
Yep.
I didn't pick the top. I picked the bottom. That's like the consequences, the second part.
The second part is more of like a timing thing, which isn't really important for this.
Okay. So
Yep.
sorry, I was looking at the wrong section of it.
Yep. So you can reach through the world psychic maelstrom. You can isolate and protect a person. You can extract and contain a fragment. You can open a window. I mean, you can also just say like, I reach through and I connect to the elder, right? Like that could also like.
Yeah, I think that last one is that open a window or a door, I think, is to the place where the elder was able to speak to Bastet when they were
cool. Awesome. Yeah, I think you walk through into this psychic maelstrom spirit world, for lack of a better term, or other world, let's call it, because folks actually have a spirit world in their beliefs, and I don't want to F with that. So yeah, you're in like the psychic maelstrom world physically, and I think you feel like, whereas when you went to Hades and your gear didn't work, there was kind of like a panic. This time your gear kind of powers down and it just feels relaxing. And there isn't that, oh my God, I can't detect things, because, it's just almost like a peace and balance with it, as if you have control over all of it. And there's nothing hidden from you. And I think the elder is there, sitting next to the tree on a little rock. And they say, thank you for showing us the water. I guess that's finite, right? It's going to go away.
The vehicle that the tank is on has some sort of filtration system that I think might accept input, whether it probably don't know that rain is a thing. I think you can add more water to it and it will clean it. I can show you how to do that, as I did with the access keypad.
I'd like that. You should climb the tree with me. There's something bad coming.
Coming here?
She nods and starts climbing.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I think, to this point, or with them saying that, like, there's a laser focus that sort of comes over, and I'll climb with them.
Yeah. She climbs up and says, and like it feels like you're way higher than you should be, right? Because we're in kind of like a non-physical world.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll end on this, and we'll not end, but we'll take a break on this. The elder says, usually we come here and we pay our honors to the tree, and then we move on. We're nomadic. We go to our next watering hole. And the reason why we do that is because these things are coming. And she like points to the north, and you can see a couple of battalions of power armors marching south. They're kind of like the armors you saw on Hades, but as if someone had 50 years to fuck with them and make them even weirder. And I think they like move like squid. They don't move with like arms and legs. They move with like squid tentacles, perambulating over the ground. And they say they're coming. I think they saw your crash.
I love it.
I need to get my people out of here.
I will make sure that you can. Yeah, I'll just be gleaning whatever I can from this vantage.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yep.
Half space here.
Yeah, and then the elder says you should really walk through the door you just made. You're not here with your mind. You're here with your body. It's very dangerous.
Thank you for guiding me in and out.
Of course. And as you're about to walk out the door, you realize, like, wait, could I attack them from here? Like, that thought hits you.
Huh. I think it's an interesting thought. I think that there's also been, this is now the second time that I haven't been able to use my weaponized self.
Yeah.
So I'll still step out through the door.
Yeah. You step out and you're back into the physical world. But I think there is a door there, right? Like if you ever need to get back into the psychic maelstrom, you have made a doorway. That is in the setting now. So there is a doorway in this tree. I think there's like literally like I think there is like a carving on the tree of an airlock door.
Nice.
Oh, that is nice.
Right? Because like what would represent doors to you guys is not a rectangle. You'd be like, what the fuck is that? It would be an airlock door. Yes, there's like a stylized airlock carving. And I imagine Bastet has like driven a truck up to the Anubis and like has a fuel hose like up to it and is getting her topped off. Nice. As you come back.
There are, how many were there of those?
18.
There's a near score of inbound hostiles. I'll like offer the direction that they're coming along. What's the state of the Anubis?
As soon as we get topped off, we can leave.
In perfect Ripley to Bishop, we're not leaving.
Oh shit!
We've got to buy these folks some time.
Or time for what?
To be able to escape. They say that
escape to where?
I don't know, they said that they're nomadic creatures. You should know something about that.
I'm not from around here. This isn't right. Where are they trying to go?
I imagine that they have a number of places that are safe within reason, but they say that they don't tend to linger here when they do come this way. And the reason why they don't linger is because of what's on its way.
Do I think we could carry them in the Anubis?
That's interesting.
I fucking love it.
Because I'm not staying here.
Well, yeah. To be clear, I'm not saying we stay forever.
Right. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, I think you could like connect a storage container and like, you know, lower the Anubis onto it and like clamp down on it. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sling load these gorillas out of here.
Yeah. My second plan was if they could fit in the truck, maybe we could pull the truck, and maybe we're still faster than the inbound force.
I think that would take a little more time just because of jury rigging.
Good. The
Yeah.
cargo container is good. Yeah, I'm good
Cool.
with that.
Awesome. I think the elder like draws you a map of where they need to go, and so yeah, I think we'll end for our break here. I think you knew these things were coming, and so you load up the tree primate tribe or clan into the container. They are not psyched about it, but they do it. And
I'll ride there. I'll ride there with them. So.
Yeah, cool, and love it. And you vertical take off the Anubis right out of there. I don't think there's any rolls needed for that. I think it's just done. And I think hours later, these robots are, or these power armored things are pouring over the airport, and of course they come to the in the pipe 5x5. Yeah, absolutely. And they they're picking through the wreckage of the lean-to that was all around the Anubis, and I think like one of them sees the airlock carving in the tree, and these two cannons come over, and they glow with the same blue light of Loop's arm, right? And they're like the smaller guns on this thing, and like they come over and like light up, and someone with higher rank comes over and like pushes their guns to the back position, and communicates in a language you don't understand, this weird clicking and shrieking language that is not human, and is over some kind of speaker, and says, no, take pictures, document. We're not destroying this. And we'll end there, and we'll as we I think you drop the container off with everybody in it at a watering hole that they let you know about, and they all get out and kind of like wave goodbye. I think in 10 years there will be like cool drawings of Loop and Bastet on the thing, and every time they come to they come to this waterhole, they'll be like, oh yeah, this is the story we have to tell about when our friends came and they couldn't deal with psychic maelstrom, and we helped them, and then they got us the good water truck that we use, and they then they dropped us off here so that the weird robot power armor things couldn't get to us. Yeah, we'll start as we approach the elevator.
Great.
Nice.
Cool, folks. And I'll see y'all in a few. We'll
Great.
be gone 5-10 minutes.
Sounds good.
And thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.